April 30th, 2025. Western Yemen, a faint heat signature, lit up a Houthi radar screen. Fast, high, silent. Operators assumed it was a U.S. drone, a routine intercept. They launched 2 Skyad missiles, expecting a clean hit, but they were wrong. The target wasn't a drone, it was a B-2 Spirit stealth bomber. The aircraft is engineered to vanish from radar, shaped like a wing, cloaked in radar-absorbent materials. You don't see a B-2 unless it wants you to. And that night it didn't. The missiles screamed skyward, but found nothing. The Spirit was gone before they reached altitude. No hit, no explosion, just a phantom vanishing into the night. But it wasn't just evading, it was watching. Streaming live intel to Diego Garcia in the Indian Ocean, the B-2 had already marked its targets. This wasn't a drone strike. It wasn't a destroyer's warning shot. This was the catalyst for what would become one of the most precise retaliations in recent U.S. military history. The Houthis had fired on the wrong aircraft, and the response would be swift and personal. Thinking they had a Reaper drone in their sights, Houthi operators had locked on to what was in fact a heavily armed stealth bomber. From a concealed hillside near Al-Houthi, 2 SAMs launched. The B-2's threat receivers chirped. The pilot executed a maneuver, dropped countermeasures, and disappeared. No evasive dives, just silence. But onboard sensors had already logged everything: launch coordinates, missile paths, heat signatures. Within seconds, the data reached analysts at Diego Garcia. This wasn't an isolated site, it was part of a larger mobile network. The Spirit wasn't just observing, it was ready to strike. Loaded with GBU-57 bunker busters and JDA-MIs for hardened targets, it adjusted course by mere degrees. That was enough. Payload dropped. Silent, deadly. The first JDA-MIs struck an equipment hub, camouflaged in the rocks. A fireball lit the sky. Secondary blasts followed. More bombs targeted a buried command post. In under 15 minutes, the entire site was leveled. The B-2 climbed away unseen, untouched, but it wasn't over. The data relayed by the B-2 enabled a larger operation. Within hours, Super Hornets launched from the USS Truman, flying low over the Red Sea. Growlers jammed enemy radar as JDA-MIs struck fuel tanks and tunnels at the RAS. ESA Terminal, a key logistics and drone funding hub, long spared in prior campaigns. It erupted in a chain of fiery detonations. Offshore, a U.S. destroyer launched Tomahawk missiles targeting a disguised weapons depot. 1 missile struck the building. Another collapsed a suspected tunnel. Total strike time, 6 minutes. Targets hit, 17. Result: chaos. Houthi communications fell silent. Vehicles fled inland in darkness. Radar sites shut down. No retaliation followed, only silence. The B-2 had done more than drop bombs. It exposed command nodes, marked targets, and collapsed communication lines. The Houthis didn't just fire on a plane, they triggered a doctrine shift. There was no U.S. press briefing, no announcement. Just satellite images of destruction, a message delivered not in words but in steel and silence. What would have once prompted a cautious response now triggered strategic retaliation. The B-2 didn't hover in warning, it hunted. And after April 30th, the Houthi command no longer controlled the tempo. Lost that in 6 minutes.